Many of us play guitar for relaxation and as a creative outlet. At some point, we want to perform for others, playing open mic nights with a local guitar club, accompanying a vocalist, or just playing with friends. Performing should be on everyone's list sooner or later, as it can be a great motivator to improve or bring a level of excitement to your guitar journey. Performing can be stressful, however. When you are nervous, your fingers and arm can feel tight, resulting in a disappointing performance. By using the harmonic chord scale technique, your nervousness goes away. You become loose, gain confidence, and your timing is right on. This technique is perfect for intros and outros. It is so easy you can even talk while you do it. It's a great way to impress your audience before you even begin. Let your audience soak it all in and get off on the right foot before you even start. I will show you the simplest ways to play this scale and offer a couple of more advanced ways to perform it as well. Let's get started right now. By your support, I would appreciate conversations and commenting for me, and it means so much to me, and I want to bring you further and further great content. If you stick with my channel, I can almost promise you'll be a better player no matter who you are. And now let's take a look at how we're going to play this all the way from an E, an open position, to another open position E, but some of the notes are up an octave and back down again. The first thing we're going to do is, instead of playing our open E with our first through third finger, we're going to play it with our second through fourth finger. So this is important to remember, these two fingers, our third and fourth, are always going to be in this position, which is one of the reasons it makes it so easy, because we're anchored to the fretboard the entire time. So we start off with our third finger on the fifth string, second fret, our fourth finger directly beneath it on the fourth string, and our second finger is going to be on the third string, first fret, versus your old way you play E. Sounds pretty much alike, and it is. That frees up our first finger for use on further down the fretboard. Now we're going to play that open E. Now go with your third and fourth finger, and I'm going to refer to this on third and fourth finger all the way up the scale. So let's go up 2 frets and put our first finger down on the second fret, third string, and back. So I just went from my first finger to my second finger. Here's my second finger, first. Let's call this a major shape and this a minor shape. Now, you can just do that, or let's go up one more. Up 2 more. Back down 2 and 2. So major, minor, 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 major. And you can just do that if you want to. There's nothing, no laws against it. But let's just keep going all the way up the fretboard. We're going to be shifting back from major to minor. We'll start with major, minor, minor, major, but this time we're only going up 1 fret. Now we'll go up 2 on major again. Now 2 on minor, 2 on minor. Something like there, and it resolves very nicely as well into your open E in a octave position. Now going back down 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, and 1. Now see how easy that is, and you can play with that. much the way we're going to play this scale. I like it so much because you just can't mess it up. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to mess your song up a little later, but don't start right at the beginning. This, I have found, will loosen your fingers up so much, and you'll have a level of confidence going into your song. Everything's going to be moving, you're going to be counting, you're going to have your foot tapping. I've messed up just like everybody does a lot, and I've learned, so I want you to learn from my mistake. Now, we're going to study some different ways to make that sound just really come alive. The beauty of this technique is it sounds so good almost any way that you play it. So you can impart different techniques. I'll just strum it in whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then you can just strum it down. So much you can do with it, and that's the simplest way that you can play it. And you can also and if you're playing it with a pick, you can do it just as well. In fact, I'll play a little bit with a pick just to prove it. So same thing. I just play, barehanded, and I like to sound a little different, so I use a thumb pick or barehanded most of the time. Back of my finger, using my fingernail. And so you just, with a pick, or my first finger. There I've imparted a palm mute using the meat of flesh of my hand versus open or. And I just played a little bit different. And almost anything you do is going to sound, you can't mess this up. That's what I'm telling you, it's so wonderful because it's going to get you off on the right foot every time. I always use these when I'm performing to get started, get loose, and I'm ready for action whenever I get this scale going good. Gets my hand moving. Now, of course, there's other ways you can play that with a finger picking pattern. I want to do a 6, 2, 4, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And there's, of course, then we get into picking patterns, and oh my gosh, you can just spend a career, mix them up even. It just goes on and on. Now, I like to mix up my finger picking patterns with this. You can start off, this is the way I learned it. Now I'm going to switch over from a 6-2, 4-3 to a 4-1-3-2. You can also go I could do this all day long, but I think you get the idea. Most of you are probably not ready to do these finger picking patterns, but gosh, this sounds good. Just go 6, 2, 4, 3. Thumb, Forearm second, thumb first. And then change your shape. And when you get to the top of the scale, you can just do whatever you want. I'm keeping my shape, but this time I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna keep my E shape. I'm not gonna go back to minor. And all this ought to work for you really well. I wish you the best on your performing, and use this because, gosh, I've seen the audience reactions to this is just marvelous. They're usually expecting, you know, wow, this guy can really play, you know, and it's simple to do. So use these tricks whenever you find them. For the best product reviews and master instruction, join Space Age Gym.